In this lesson, we will have an overview of UiPath, and more important, maybe to you, is that we will build our first robot. Let's get started. Double-click UiPath Studio. And this is how UiPath look when we start up. So let me expand it over the whole screen so we can have a better look at it. The first thing that we will do is that we will go to Tools, because we will install the Chrome extension. Per default, it's Internet Explorer, and that can be quite complicated to work with. That's it. Then we will start up our Chrome, because now Chrome, we have Chrome here. I will expand this as well. And now Chrome will ask us to install a UiPath extension. We'll do that. So click here. New extension added. We will enable the extension. That's it. Now we can automate with UiPath in the browser. Let us close that one again. Then we go to Start. We click New Project, Process over here. That's usually the one that we will use. We can see that we will create a new blank process. So let's give it a name. We could call this our first robot and maybe overview. Call it whatever you want. You can choose the location here and give it a description. However, we will just click Create. The first thing that we will do is to go to Project. Click down here, and here we can see a tree structure of the project. What we will have is the main file. That's where all our activities goes in. That could be click in browsers, type something in, save it to Excel or whatever. That one will be stored here. Then we will have a project.json. We can double click it actually. And we can see here that there's some information about our project. You don't have to worry about this. Just know that it is here. Close that one down again. Let's go to our main. We can either double click here or we can open the main workflow by clicking here. This is how a blank canvas looks like. And we can drag activities in here to build a robot. So go to activities and let's just try to build a robot right now, shouldn't we? So let's build a robot that will open up a browser, do a search, and then close the browser again. The first thing that we will do is that we can search for activities over here in the activities panel, or we could simply just find them down here in the menus. However, we will often just search for them. Of course, in the beginning, you don't know what the activities are named, but we will build a routine in that so you will get comfortable with all the activities. So let's just get started. Find an open browser. So search for open browser, that's here. And you can just click it and then you can drag it in over here. We can see here that we have the open browser activity, that's here, and then we have a sequence. The sequence was created automatically. A sequence is just a linear thing, so sequence will open up the first, do the first activity, then if we have a second activity that will do that, a third, and go on in a linear way. So we can rename the sequence here. What we'll do here is that we can right click. Then we can rename, it's outside the pictures, but it's a rename, or we can just double click it here. Then it will also, we can just call this main, because that's our main sequence. Then we will open up a browser. And you can click here, and then you can go to properties over here. That's properties to the given activity. So when this activity is marked, you can get some properties over here. The property that we want to change is the browser type. Remember, we want to automate in Chrome. So click this drop down here and choose Chrome. That's it. Then we must specify a URL here that we will open up. I will open up just Google. So let me open up a browser. That's probably the easiest thing. We will go to Google. Google.com here. And what we'll do here is that we'll just take the address from up here. So copy that one here, go back to UiPath, and here you will insert the URL. You just have to know that all text must be in quotation marks. That's a general rule here in UiPath. So have the quotation mark. You can see when we put in one quotation mark, UiPath will automatically do it twice. So that's fine because we want one in the start and one in the end. Now we built our first robot. That was easy, right? Then we just need to run it. Let me close down this Google Sheet and we can run it. To run it, you will go up here to the Debug File, click the drop down here and choose Run File. Let's do that. UiPath will run in a few seconds, depending on how fast your machine is. And boom, we built our first robot. Let's just open up Google. Now let's do a search on Google. So we will have this open browser, and to do some activities in this browser, we have to drag them inside this do. So we go over here to activities again. Then we click this one here. And now what we'll do is we'll search for a type into. That's a common activity too. You will get used to that. We will drag this type into here. And now we need to indicate element inside browser. So we need to indicate where we want to type in. So simply click this one here. And now you can see that we have a yellow field where we want to type in. You can send text to a lot of places here, but we will do it here in the search field. So click here when the yellow rectangle is marked in the search field. That's it. Click here. Now UiPath know that we will type something into here. Another thing, you can see this error sign. That's a sign that we miss something. You'll see that quite often. What we miss here is, of course, we need some text to be typed in. So let's type that in. And again, it must be in quotation marks. So we will do the quotation marks and then we'll just say UiPath. This one will make a UiPath search. Let me close down UiPath again. Oh, sorry, the browser, and then run UiPath. We now run it again. And we should have a UiPath search, but we do miss something. So UiPath here, that's it. However, we missed something to search for. As you can see here, we have only done the search, but we need to have some sort of an enter click. So what we'll do here is that we go back to UiPath and we can click this plus sign here. And then we can send some keys in. There's a lot of key things. The one we are looking for is the enter key. You can see here that some code has been typed into here. You could of course also have typed in this code here. However, it's just more easy to click the plus sign and choose the enter. Now we can do a search. So what we'll do is to close down the browser again and then run it. So click the drop down and the run file. UiPath and enter. We go back to the browser and we can see that we have done the search. So far so good. Let's also, we will not do nothing, we will do nothing with the search, but let's build the robot so that Google Chrome will be closed again. We go back to UiPath. A thing here that we'll do is to put in a message box, because that's some sort of a break. If we just choose close, then I'm not sure we will notice what was going on, so we will choose a message box. A message box, that's nothing but a message to the user that will pop up. We will see that in a second. That's here. We will drag that in. We can now drag it outside the browser, as this is not a browser thing. We could also put it in here. That wouldn't have made a change. So a message box, that is something that will pop up on the screen to the user. Usually we will do that in testing the robots, because we can do some breaks here. The robot will not continue before the user click OK to this message box. So what we can do here is that we can just say quotation marks. You have done a search, click OK to close. Still in quotation marks, like this. So now we will have a break here, and then we can choose to close down Google Chrome after the user have clicked OK in this message box. So go to activities again, and then we search for close application. Drag in this close application. We can indicate the application on the screen. This one could be anything. That could be the calculator, that could be Excel, Spotify, or whatever. We will choose the Google Chrome. So click on this indicate on screen here. And make sure that you have the yellow rectangle across your browser, and then just click here. So now we have built a robot that will do a Google search. Open up Chrome, do a Google search, have a break, and then close down Google again. We will close this one down. Now we run it again. So click the drop down, run file. It will run now. We will do the search in a few seconds. So now we have the UiPath search here. We can see that we have done a search. Click OK to close. The robot will not continue before we click OK. So let's do that. And boom, the Chrome was closed. That's it. That's how easy it is to build robots in UiPath. Don't you just enjoy it already? Well, we will get back and build some more fun robots and some robots that you can use in your business. Some key things that we will touch before this lesson is over is that we will have the output field as well. So click down here into the output. This is important, so listen closely. Here you will have some log messages. Here we have only that our robot started and our robot ended, and it took 20 seconds. Remember, we spent some seconds with the message box, but that doesn't matter. Oh, let's click output again. Let's try to send some message to the output. So what we'll do here is that we will click the output again, that will minimize it, and then we will delete the open browser, and we will delete the message box and the close application. Let's just find a write line. A write line do output a message as well as the message box. However, it will send it to the output. So we can drag in the write line, and in quotation marks we can write a message. I can just say you are about to be an expert in UiPath, like this. Then we can run it. So click the drop down, run the file. And there's nothing to see here. However, if we open up the output, you can see here that our message is here. You are about to be an expert in UiPath. This is a window that we will use a lot for testing and logging, so it's important. You will not think that it's important right now, but I will assure you that you will get a little bit cleverer while we start the lessons. But let's just minimize it for now. The last thing that I will talk with you about is the variables here. That's also an important one. So click the variables. Here we can create variables. A variable is simply just a name to store some characters. So let's try to create a variable that will store some characters. The name will be output text. You can call it whatever you want. I just choose to name mine output text. The variable type, we have a lot to choose from. That will be a string. We'll get back to the variable types. Then the scope. That is where our variable is declared, and that's just the main. We only have one sequence here, so we only have one thing to choose from. Then the default value. Let's choose this text from up here. So Control A, copy it, and paste it down into the default value. Because now we have the output text variable here, we can do something clever. As you probably know from programming languages, or if you don't know, it doesn't matter. So delete all the text here, and then we can simply just refer to the output text. That's the name of our variable. You can see that it pops up here. Press the tab and we will have it up here. So we can run the robot again. And now you will see that we have just used the variable to print out the same message. That's it. That's how easy it is. So now you learned how to build your first robot. Be sure to look into the next lessons where we will dive deep into the things that you have learned here in our first lesson.